All right, people, here we are. Damn. Today we have an amazing topic of discussion. As usual, kwa majina, I am Edygrim, the rock DJ for Alpha Wolf Radio Rocks podcast on YouTube. For those of you who are new here, Edygrim is a Kenyan rock DJ who's very passionate about the Kenyan rock scene. The fans are super dope, and that's why I do this. The fans, the rock music, yes, that is where I draw my energy from. And Alpha Wolf Radio Rocks is a online channel that I started on Mixcloud. So apart from podcasts, kuna pia mziki. The music is not on YouTube, it is on Mixcloud. I will leave a link somewhere here to pop up on the screen or in the description section. Sawa sawa. All right, for today we have a very interesting topic, which is actually, let me rewind where I got the idea for this podcast. I always get ideas for podcasts from just things that are happening around me. So in my very first podcast, I mentioned that I was talking about why XFM shut down. If you haven't listened to that yet, the link should pop up here somewhere around around the YouTube screen. So my very first podcast, the very first one that I uploaded, it was called Why XFM Shut Down, and I explained, just the business angle of how radio works and how Kenyan rock radio works and what caused XFM to not do so well, causing its owners to shut it down. Now, here's the thing. I posted that link on Facebook, and then a lot of people were giving feedback. So there's this one person who wrote this. It was a very big comment. It was very long, but let me paraphrase what he wrote. He said, this is what he said: radio is no longer about music. It is about the presenters. Look at Kiss 100. It has, this is what he wrote. It has the Butilicious Kamenegoro and Andrew Kiba. So because those presenters are in Kiss 100, now Kiss 100 is doing really well. And he used a word that I have not heard being used in radio. I usually hear it being used in TV. He said that the ratings for a radio station move really up when there's a presenter who's famous, like Akina Kamenegoro, like Akina Andrew Kibe, and he also gave the example of classic. He said that classic is famous not because of its music, but because of Mwalimu Kengangi and and Maina Kageni. Yeah, so you're trying to say it's not really the music, it's the presenters. And so I'm posing the question to you today: do radio presenters really make radio better to the point that it determines whether a radio station will be shut down or open? Now, in my personal opinion, telling me that a presenter, keeps a radio station opened or closed, in my very first podcast, mimi nilisema that the reason why XFM did not do so well was simply because the advertisers were not advertising with the station. That was a major issue. Advertisers were not advertising with the station, and it was because they I don't know whether it was through I don't know what technique was used. I said in my first podcast, jikama ni Sinovate ama the powers of voodoo, but advertisers on XFM, or there was like some kind of poll. I don't know how they do it, but advertisers understood that XFM, the listenership is of pretty young people, and pretty young people, this economy, do not have money, and an advertiser wants to invest in a radio station where the listeners are at least a majority of the listeners wako na pesa, so that when they advertise, you go buy their services or their products. So, but now here comes a different angle where someone is saying, oh, it's mainly to do with the presenters. If the presenters are there, that causes people to listen, and therefore, as long as people are listening, the radio station stays open. So I'm asking you, what do you think? I'd really like to know your feedback, and just give me your honest opinion, and leave a comment in the comment section below. I personally want to give you my own experience with radio presenters. Mimi kama Edygrim nilianza kucheza kwenye radio 2014, I think September. Yeah, like 5 years ago this month. Yeah, actually around this time, because I think it was September 14th or 19th, 2014 that I first played on radio. It was on the Fuse 98.4 Capital FM, the show that happens mpaka sahi. It still happens from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So at the time when I was on the Fuse, there was Taylor Kimani Murathe and Wanjira One Love. Yeah. So it's, just to give you my own opinion, of the two presenters, I think Wanjira was most liked. I think female presenters are more liked than male presenters. But when I interacted with the two of them, the one that I really, got along with really well was Taylor. Maybe it's because it's a dude thing, I don't know. But Taylor he was very social. He was always himself, while Wanjira was always Wanjira was very boss lady-ish, like very professional. Like, okay, in my opinion, she was very professional, and she was like, a bit no nonsense ish. It's like when she comes to studio, she's here to do radio. She's not here to laugh with you. Yeah. But Taylor was easygoing, I actually got along with him much better than Wanjira, but Wanjira was pretty cool. Now, before Wanjira and Taylor, there was a presenter called Koi, I think, and there was another one called Italia Masiero. I was not very keen on the Fuse before 2014, so I don't know about them, but opinions za watu wengine waliniambia that they liked Koi for her taste in music, but they didn't like her personality. Just general opinions of people that I asked when I was getting to know the Fuse. People said that they didn't like Koi, but they liked her taste in rock. It was good. Some said the vice versa. Some said I like her personality, but I don't like her taste in music. But the majority walisema she knows rock, but her personality was just not, improving the radio experience when they listened. As for Italia, I never asked that much, but when I listened to Italia, I didn't. There was no issue on my end. And then after who? After Wanjira and Taylor, we have the current presenters right now, and Mwaura and Miano Mshiri. So I never interacted with them in person, but I kind of like Anne. She's, Miano is also pretty cool, but I like Anne because if you tweet Anne, she will reply. If you tweet at her directly, she will retweet you and she will reply. And I like, I like that. As in, a presenter who corresponds with the audience is always very, very good. So I would say that's a plus on on Anne's side. She makes radio better because she interacts with her audience and she always responds. Okay, so by the time Anne and Miano were coming into the picture, me was not in Capital. I had already moved to X. When I was in X, who did I meet? I met Mike Mondo, I met Nick Ndeda, and I met Nadia. Of the three, the most loved one, obviously tunajua. Si unajua ni Nadia too. People have always liked Nadia because of her raw personality, kind of unique. She's herself, and she has that sarcastic, satirical, kind of funny personality that goes really well with radio. This is a personal experience that I had with Nadia's presentership. I don't know if Nadia, you're listening, you should know this. There was a time when I was in KU, when I was in campus, I was experiencing. I have mild IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome. Yeah, so when I get stressed, it tends to also affect my gut. And there was this one time I've never forgotten. Nadia was doing the home run, which was the evening show, and Nadia is funny. She's herself. She cracks jokes. She just says what's on her mind, and her presentership was so good. I remember hapo KU main campus, nililala kwa nyasi. I just slept on the grass because I was in so much pain, and I just closed my eyes and listened to her presenting that entire evening for like 2 hours. It was like between 5 to 7 before Friday 4 play mix. And I am telling you, for those 2 hours, I was not in pain. You know, when you have irritable bowel syndrome, you feel pain, like at least at the time, you experience a spasm of pain every 15 minutes. So I think I was stressed because of project year, fourth year or something. But I have never forgotten that thing. And listening to Nadia made those spasms of pain go away. Like that's how I knew that she's a very good presenter. Plus, you know, a presenter who's himself or herself and is not afraid to be weird tends to get more love. Then we have Nick. So Nick came right after Farid. So Farid. Everyone loves Farid. I won't lie. I also fell in love with XFM because of Farid. Farid, you know, you'd wake up early in the morning at 6 just to listen to Farid. So at that point, at least we can say it was not about the music. It was about Farid. Farid and his pranks and him just going wild on radio. And then after that, we had Nick Ndeda. So people love Nick Ndeda. And the people who don't love Nick Ndeda usually don't like Nick Ndeda simply because the only argument is he is not Farid. Yeah. Okay, in my personal opinion and experience, when talking to people in campus, when talking to fans, the people who don't like Nick Ndeda, they don't really have a problem. If I ask them what's the problem with Nick Ndeda, they don't have a problem. It's just that Nick Ndeda is not Farid. Yeah, even me, I experienced that problem when I was in radio. The DJ before me was Justin Rich, so Justin Rich diehards were like, Edygrim is not good because he's not Justin Rich. As in, they won't say that, but they are doing a comparison between old and new. As in, we do that all the time. Yeah, you look at your old girlfriend and your new girlfriend. You look at old lead vocalist of a band and new lead vocalist of a band, and you say, oh, he's not better because he's not like this guy. You know, just because a fruit, just because an apple is not a mango, you get, just because an apple is not a mango does not mean that the apple is not sweet or the mango is not sweet. Yeah. So in my personal opinion, I think Nick Ndeda is awesome. And I'm not just saying this because he's my friend. Like, I genuinely think the man is multi-talented in that, you know, he told me that he's not given a guideline for what akina sijui morning hard one, sijui shower thoughts. Those are not things that he was told to do. Those were things he came up with, which I found to be very creative. It's not easy to create content for ati uambiwe ati, okay, here's the radio, fanya nini unataka, goodbye. It's not easy to just cook up nice stuff that people will engage with. And as we all know, we loved Morning Hard On and loved Shower Thoughts, and Nick Ndeda was just a good presenter. Anyone who had a problem with Nick Ndeda it was mainly because he was not Farid, because, you know, most people just love what's old and familiar. So who else have we not talked about? Also, there was Mike Mondo. Mike Mondo was what can I say? Mike Mondo is a July baby like me. So me, I'm born July 1, for those who don't know, and I believe Mike Mondo is born July 13th. I think so. I may be wrong, but I know that his birthday is somewhere around there. So I got along with him. That's why he's in the picture for this video. Really cool guy. I was actually shocked that Mike, if you're listening to this, don't attack me. I was actually shocked that Mike knows rock. Like, he is an actual rock head. I mean, he's in classic right now, so he plays classic. But there was a time he came to one of my gigs and he was like, Ed, I want to listen to Daughtry. Ed, I want to listen to this song or that song. So he knows rock. Yeah. Most presenters, you know, presenters are not necessarily rock heads just because they're in a rock station. Yeah. And then who else do we have? We had Malika Kazia. So after Nadia left, we had Malika. And I am telling you, I have never met a more polite, more kind presenter than Malika. Malika is so social. Malika is so social. You have no idea. Like she's so social and she's so sweet. Oh my goodness. I remember there were times I would just show up in studio and just sit there and bug her and just chap a story with her. Really, really great chile. So in my opinion, do presenters improve the experience of radio? Yes, they do. They do increase. They do add. They improve. They make it better to some degree, but I don't think just having famous presenters can keep a station that's not doing economically well. There's the economics of radio and the biashara section. So I remember at some point, I'm not sure. This may be a false memory, But I believe that there came a point where I asked Nick Neda, right around the time that XFM was closing. Nick Neda is one who told me that advertising on XFM is going down. I think it's even becoming an issue to pay the presenters. I think he told me that. I'm not sure. I'm not quoting him directly, but I think he may have said something like that. We had a lot of talk around the time that XFM was shutting down. So I think so, siko sure kabisa. But you see, it means that kama biashara ya redio haifanyi vizuri, even the presenter who is attracting an audience, pia he ends up suffering, yeah. But here's the thing. So I've shown you the upside of having presenters. But here's the downside. So, oh yeah, one last pass on after Mike Modo alienda classic, we were given Mungala, who is also an amazing guy. Mungala is just as social and he's so down to earth. You have no idea. I mean, if you follow him on social media, you see he's funny jokes, but he's like a really cool guy. And actually, of all the presenters I've ever met, I think the one who has done the most promotional work for me, yeah, promoting me vizuri, is Nick and Mungala. Yeah, Nick and Mungala. Oh, they've really promoted me. Like I'm talking like posting stuff, sharing it, and then Mungala even attended one of my shows. So yes, I am very much for presenters being on radio, but here's the controversy, Sasa. So when I ask the listeners, what do you think about presenters being on radio? You get mixed reactions. You get some people who say, oh, some presenters are bland, meaning that they're not good, but they're not bad. Yeah, so wako tu hapo, they don't really add anything. And then some say that presenters are unnecessary because they cut in between my music. So these are the people who want uninterrupted music 24/7. Yeah, they just want music to play on and on and on. Some say I don't have a problem with presenters. I just don't like it when presenters starts talking about irrelevant things. Like a presenter starts talking about how Lialena Rorashio, ama there is this Mboch who does A, B, C, D, yeah, as in irrelevant. Oh, in the eye of in the ear of the listener, is irrelevant. Yeah, hata kusikia story ya sijui how so and so broke up and sijui which is the latest sijui gossip news, hataki kusikia hiyo crap yote. Yeah, anataka tu mziki, plain and simple. Some presenters have told me that some of the content that presenters bring on radio is inappropriate and it makes radio unlistenable. Like Andrew Kibe, Andrew Kibe I'm sure you know who Andrew Kibe is, yeah? Andrew Kibe can be very, how do I say, unedited, uncensored. He just speaks his mind. If he wants to use the F word or the M word, I haven't listened to him on radio, but if he talks the way he talks in his videos and vines and, whatever, if he talks the same way on radio, I mean, you can understand a lady who's listening on the other end who has a child and is like, oh, Andrew Kiba is talking about this, he's talking about chicks in this way, and I find it uncomfortable. Yeah, as in some people have said, I don't like a certain presenter because he cracks corny jokes or she uses foul language. So that's the downside of presentership. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine being a presenter must be hard because you're tasked with maintaining people's attention even when the music cuts. So yeah, what can I say really? That is the upside and the downside of having a presenter. In my personal experience, see, I have Alpha Wolf Radio Rocks, which is an online channel on Mixcloud. I've come to realize when I talk, when I have streams on Alpha Wolf Radio on Mixcloud, which I play music and then I talk kidogo. Then I play music, I give shout outs. So some people are like, I've seen comments where people are like, Edygrim unaongea sana nyamaza. Yeah? Like someone comments that to me, unaongea sana nyamaza. And someone else is like, I'm enjoying the mix, but you're talking too much. And then some people say, some people have told me, this is listeners' feedback, your feedback. So people tell me, Edygrim, sometimes I like it when there's music alone. Sometimes I want to listen to podcasts alone. Is it necessary for you to mix them in between? And to the people who asked me that, the answer is yes. There are some streams where I have to talk, like when I have a stream about 20 rock bands that you need to know about. Something happening to do with Kenyan rock, I have to talk. But so that also poses another question. Does a presenter become, is a presenter more valuable on radio depending on what they're talking about? What exactly, in your opinion, is it the duration of talking that's the issue? I would really like to know, because um, in my personal experience, what my ideal version of radio, my ideal version is that you have more music than talking, and then the talking is related to what you're playing. Like if I'm listening to a rock station, I would want there to be like 3 or 4 songs, and then the presenter says something like that was Murphy's Flaw, Murphy's Flaw, Murphy's Flaw. Their new song, it's called this. Oh, and by the way, if you're listening to this, I'm recording it as Murphy's Flaw. I've just dropped a new song and a new album. They have a new song, and they're just chucking their third album. I will leave the link. Hey, leo nimeacha malink nyingi. I will leave the link somewhere here. So hey, if you have been listening all the way till the end, congrats, you'll get to enjoy all these links. So yeah, they just chucked a new music video and a new album. And yeah, so I would like it if like 4 songs played, then the presenter is like, and that was Murphy's Flow with their new song. It's called Hello Light. Watch it, Samuel. It's called Hello Light. It's from this album. And did you know that Murphy's Flow do this? They play at this place. Yeah, some radio stations may not allow that simply because it comes off as promotion for a venue. But I would want what you're saying to be relevant to us, the listener, or to us, the music. Not that in between, you begin telling us something like, and I'm wearing a blue tie. you know like some presenters try to create conversation, and the conversation just seems to be just there, or it feels like filler. In a jazz at 2 time. Yeah, so that's my ideal version. Otherwise, for my personal opinion, radio does become better with a good presenter who doesn't talk too much. I think that's my opinion. What's your opinion? I'd really like to know. Please leave me a comment. As usual, this platform is meant to be engaging. It's meant to create discussion. It's meant to me. I read all your comments, and I try and like as many as possible, and reply, and even throw a heart, nini nini. Yeah, this is supposed to be an engaging platform. So also remember to follow, share this video. I would really like to know what other people think. And please subscribe. When you click the subscribe button, kuna kuanga na kengele. There's a bell icon next to that, so tap on that. It will allow YouTube to notify you when I upload something. Sometimes I upload and I share on social media, but maybe you didn't see. So YouTube will do that. All right, my people, I hope this has been an engaging and informative and what do I call it? Brain stimulating conversation. Brain stimulating conversation. I have more podcasts on there. I have so much on the way, and so please subscribe. Please tell a friend, 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 and share on social media. Tag me at Edygrim, Edygrim. Sijui kwa nini mnaandikanga jina yangu vibaya. Edy, there isn't a double M or a double D. It's Edygrim. On Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, Edygrim. Sawa sawa. Otherwise, mimi sina neno. Thank you so much for listening this far. Till next time, till next podcast. You have a great day or evening or night, depending on what time you're listening to this, and God bless. Cheers.